Struggling with prop firms? Let's go.
Hey guys, today's video I'm going to be speaking about why doing less is going to generate you a lot more source of income from trading. And what I'm going to be going into different things. Obviously I'm going to brought up gold. I'm going to be using the break and retest, the best strategy, the most simple strategy in the world compared to I've traded at ICT. You know, all these are the, you know, I know I make a few videos on ICT saying that, nothing against him. I just think what he normally says is a load of, I'm sure quite a few would agree as well. He doesn't, I don't think he believes what he says himself. Now, regarding, you know, the break and retest, it's the most simple probably concept out there, right? You have a zone, you wait for price to break the zone, and then you wait for price to retest the zone, and then you you go with either a buy or a sell. Now, why lose? You know, why doing less? You're going to lose less, right? Well, someone might say, well, if I take more trades, I'm going to obviously make more money as well. Yes, but that's not how the trading world works, right? If you take in other fields, if you spend a lot of hours on a football pitch, you know, practicing your penalty kicks, you know, kicking the ball, that will benefit you, right? But in the trading world, that doesn't, right? Because the football stays, you know, where it is. You practice, the net's a certain size, you take your shot, and either the goalkeeper is going to go left or right or jump a little higher. In the trading world, the market's always consistently moving, and that's one thing you can never control, right? You can never 100% predict all the way through. It can, you know, it can just do whatever it wants, basically. It's got its own mind, its own algorithm, whatever you want to call it, right? It's got its own conscious, whatever, right? So all we can do with this is we have to trade less, right? And I'm telling you why. Now, you're not going to believe anything I say unless I don't. Obviously, I show this pretty much every single video. This is just basically students passing their challenges, 100k accounts, 50k accounts, 10k accounts. And it's just, obviously, I can boast about the strategy, the break and retest, the way I've refined and made it I've simplified it. I can boast about it as much as I want, but, you know, if I can make it work for others, then that's where it, you know, true credibility really shows. I mean, the link will be in the video description. You know, it's a free community, you can check it out, you know, and obviously this is a community where I offer my one-to-one mentorship as well. That's obviously a separate thing for, you know, the elite mentorship program. Yeah, the link will be in the video description if anyone's interested of joining. And another thing I want to show as well, my back tested collected data over the few years. This is one blue line to blue line is 1 week, and red line to red line is 1 month. And if you've been watching this content for a long time, following my channel, you know exactly, yeah, I show my back tested data a lot as well. Now, I recently taken on a challenge trying to turn 100 into 10,000. Not started that yet, but I will be linking my FX account so you can all check that out as well. Now, I've been getting a lot of demand as well to live stream. Now, the only reason I don't, I've been heavily considering it, but the only problem with that is, guys, you know, I'm an intraday trader, right? I'm not a scalper where I'll be just taking multiple positions for you to watch, right? Sat there. What I'm trying to say is you'll get bored very quickly, right? And I'm not one of them people where I'll just, you know, sit in front of the camera live streaming for hours and hours waiting for my setup to appear, right? And it'd be just boring in the sense of one trade comes, if I win or lose, then what, right? For hours we just sat there, and we don't know how long, you know, maybe I might not even get a setup for the day. But anyways, coming to the point, why doing less is more is because the markets are always changing. And, you know, in this case, suppose you take one trade, right? You win. So what we can do is, like, you look at this example actually. Suppose we take one trade over here and we win, right? That only then you should take your second trade, right? If you lose one trade, you know, you can either call it a day, or you can either, you know, like say you should only take 1 or 2 trades for the day anyway. You know, try to minimize it. Now, I like to normally take as much positions. Sometimes if my setup is A plus, I'll pretty much take it, but still I like to have a maximum of about 2 free trades for the day anyway. 2 free trades, but my setups that I'll take, they'll be maximum like A plus. If I'm already up nicely for the week, near the end of the week, like today, I took a loss because again it's all about transparency. I took a loss. I posted it as well because obviously, you know, not one of them, you know, it's not one of them channels, or I'm not one of them people where I only post my winning trades trying to, you know, yeah, like I've got a 100% win rate. No, experience trades we call them, because we're not losing, we're learning, right? You're only losing if you're not learning. So experience trade, you know, I posted every in front of the community as well. So my point I'm trying to make is, you know, when you lose a trade, you should pretty much call it and move on, right, for the next day. It depends how many you lose for the day. If you lose about 2-3, call it. Now this is where the next step comes in, where you should be able to say no to yourself, right? It's one of the challenges I've had over the years. Pretty much everyone, we're emotional creatures, so normally we struggle with not, you know, it's people find it hard enough saying no to others. Try saying no to yourself. Now what do I mean by that? Suppose you take one trade, you're on a winner. Second trade, you take the winner. You take another trade, you win again. You might go towards New York session. Now I'm speaking about this is London session, for example, right? We go towards New York session. You might take 2, 3, 4 losses. In between them, how many times do you really say no to yourself? Because in that process, guys, you might, or girls, whoever, ladies watching this, if you lose, do you let revenge trading come into, you know, the emotions take over you, right? You have to have the ability to say no to yourself, right? And if I even show you guys why, I mean, this is obviously I'm searching this up, and you know why less is more. I mean, you can even do your research on this, guys. It's simply because, you know, if you take one trade, right? I'll be going into the entries as well for why take, you know, how you can take these positions. But if you take one entry, right, and you lose, because the market's always moving, right, you can never really, the outcome's always pretty much going to be random, right? You can have a high probability setup, but the outcome is going to be pretty much random. There's no control over that. If you take one trade, second trade, third trade, and you win all 3, by all means continue trading. But if you lose all 3, call it a day. And then the way I always like to look at it like this: each day has its own amount of volume that comes into the market every single day. You know, new sessions, I normally like to think of it as new volume, fresh volume. It's like you're getting served new juices, soft drinks every time your session opens. And then when the new day comes, new drinks for everyone, right? So we're going to be going into, you know, so what I want to basically the message I'm trying to send, guys, is say no when the time is right. When is that? When you start losing trades, right? If you start winning trades, it's going to be much harder as well, because you're going to be feeling euphoria and all that. It's just as important. You have to say no then as well. You have to back off from the markets, call it a day, and come back the next day. I have some students that only take one trade per session, and they call it win or lose. It doesn't matter. If they win the first session, they'll trade the second session. I have, you know, a lot of students actually do that. If you apply your risk management plan, there's all these things you know, they have to go hand in hand, right? Your discipline, your patience. I made a video on this previous video. You know, discipline, risk management, psychology, you know, patience, and you know, it's all these things come into factor, right, to become profitable. It's not just having a winning strategy, a good strategy. I can teach this to a 5-year-old, this technical analysis, all this chart price, right? It's the emotions, it's your emotions that define who you truly are, and if you'll be able to make it in the game. Now let's go into entries. Let's use a small time frame. Okay, so we've got a nice breakout here, strong candle. Now the only reason I don't like this, I personally would not take this setup because it just, the volume, well, there is an early sign, right? Because a huge bearish volume here, but the early sign is the multiple wick rejections indicating, you know, weak sellers and strong buyers. We eventually get the breakout here, but if let's see if there's any. Okay, this super strong bullish candle here, and this one over here, right? This only you can use these two as the entry patterns, but this one, if I saw these two, then yes, I would take these, right? Take the trade. Now you see this strong bearish candle. See, this is why is has that basically formed? If I saw that, would I be surprised? It's just because of this huge bearish volume, and I believe the trend is, although I was going to say the trend is bearish, but no, it's just that we've had a change of structure, right? This support level has been broken. So normally, well, I mean, this higher low is not basically, this is still okay. So it does get respected here. So we've not really had a full, I mean, if this one got broken, then I would think, you know, price is going to continue pushing to the downside. But still, there's a ton of volume, which I would not like to see. I actually just like to take A+ setups, and one of them, you know, my confidence is trading with the trend, and that is the best way you're going to get winners out of your setups, right? If you got a bearish, super strong, you know, trend, but you go for a buy and then you'd be surprised why did you get taken out. Well, my friend, it's because the trend was bearish. He was swimming against the current, right? Your trend is basically if you look at the which direction is the river flowing. Your river is the trend, is your trend. The volume in the trend is the speed of the current of the river. So if you're trying to swim against the current, you're just gonna drown or get swept away. You know, just like you're trading, like you're gonna get here, have your stop losses hit multiple times. Now let's use another example. I mean, the break and retest is super simple, guys. This is why, I mean, probably why so many students are finding success with it. Some are still learning, I totally understand that. Some are learning, and I'll be fully transparent about this as well. Some are taking a little bit longer than others. Why? Because everyone's got their own learning pace, right? It's just like imagine if a teacher or a professor teaching in a university or college, he would want, or she would want, everyone to succeed in a class. She would want all her students to get A's, A grades, B grades, and pass, whatever you want to call it, right? But that's not going to be the case, right? Now, and that's one of the reasons I don't work with beginners, because I like to work with people who already got, you know, some experience in their background. Why? Makes my life easier. I don't have to answer 1,000 questions. Then what normally happens is when you answer them 1,000 questions, you get another 10,000 sent back at you. But I'd rather speak to someone who already understands the foundation level, or has a, you know, a little bit of experience, knows what a pip is, has placed trades, knows how to place trades, you know, flawlessly, you know, understands the concept of the strategy, or the strategy, I mean, just a, you know, like a beginner, but not a beginner, if that makes sense, right? So I mean, look at this. Why did these buys work here, guys? Right? You can clearly see these buys worked because we was trading with the river, with the flow of the river, right? This one over here, well, you can also call it trend breakout. You know, the trend breakout traders, they'll say, oh yeah, this trend broke, I've got the zone marked here, price touched my zone, wait for the rejection, and market just tanked down here. Well, yes, kind of, but I mean, I think all strategies work, right? The only difference is not, okay, this is the way I look at it. All strategies work, but all strategies have their own level of difficulty. That's why, so maybe what I'm trying to say is the break and retest might have a higher success rate of people who actually start to understand and succeed with it. ICT strategy, I think, it's got a very low percentage of success rate. They might have millions of followers, but not many, you know, how many people actually succeed, you know. Yeah, let's see what this the trendline breakout, I mean, it works. I've seen some traders succeed with this, but you know, it's like, now the confusion with the trend line, what I think is, and I mean, this might be just a personal issue, right, is where does the trend, do you think, really, okay, imagine this is my concern what I always had, right? Here's a trend line, right? But imagine now I'm up to this phase here, right? Again, you might be watching this video and be like, you idiot, we can spot it straight away. Maybe you can, but that's your thing. Again, your strategy is going to be down to the individual, right? If it sits with you better, which one sits with you better. So, okay, this is the issue I would normally usually have. Let me just delete this as well. Let's go a bit more back, because obviously I've just drawn a clear. Let's think. Okay, okay. So suppose I'm here now. I have no clue what to do from here. So maybe like this. I would probably draw it like this, because look at this, look at this, look at this. See, I would see this forming, because normally, ideally, to say your trend line is supposed to have 3 touches, 1, 2, 3. I'll be like, okay, once this breaks through, I'll take a sell, or once it comes down here, I'll take a buy. Let's hit play. It does bloody none of that. I would go for a sell here, I would lose. If I went for a buy here, I would lose as well. Only this time here, I mean, but then, well, let's look for an entry, right? Let's look for some rejection. Excuse me, let's find a rejection. This is what I don't like. Okay, I mean, where's the bloody rejection? I mean, this here, breakout, along with bearish candle, price comes up, okay, you take the sell, again, these bear with these wicks of rejection, but then, down, I mean, price, okay, no, with bearish candle breakout here, price comes up, super strong bearish candle with rejection, I'll take my sell from there, price just comes back in. How super annoying is that? Anyways, see, this is why, I mean, again, you guys might have just watched this video and thought, you know, ludicrous. That was super simple. No, I find this super simple. You know, marking my zones, support resistance levels. All I have to do now is wait for price to enter those zones after a breakout, and then I will decide if I want to buy or sell. And you know, my win rate is better. Now, win rate don't really mean anything in trading. It's your risk to reward and your psychology, your discipline, your focus, you know, your patience, you know, all these things. But you know, it just sits with me better, right? I've just gone through the examples of entries you can choose from. It's a super simple method. But again, if you have to take anything from this video, guys, I would say have the ability to say no to yourself, and number 2, start trading less in the day. Try it. That's why I've heard, you know, scalpers now, with scalpers, some of you guys might be thinking, well, so some scalpers are really successful traders. Yes, you're right, they are. A lot of these hedge funds, like these traders, you know, on S&P Capital, you know, on Wall Street, some of them are scalpers and they're really successful. Again, down to the individual, but I'm saying, speaking on a, you know, larger audience perspective. Overall, you're gonna have most success. You know, I'll give you an example. If I had a classroom of 500 people, I would not say to all 500 start scalping. I'll say to every single one of them, just take one trade for the day to start off with, right? It'll help with their stress, it'll help with their psychology, it'll keep stress levels down. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not showing you all this to target every single one of you, like each one of you, in the sense of, you know, I'm not I'm targeting overall. What I'm trying to say is, that probably didn't make any sense what I said there. I'm trying to speak to the larger audience, that if I to have a chance of succeeding, because not every single one of you, sadly, is going to succeed, right? You have to be stubborn. You have to be a very stubborn individual. I would like every single one of you to achieve in trading, you know, success in trading, but it's not going to happen, right? Now, but still, what I'm trying to say, the best chance of you, what I believe of you succeeding, is the break and retest. To begin with, it's the most simple strategy out there. It's the most rewarding, well, one of the most rewarding strategies out there. You know, some of these risk rewards can go up if you, once you perfect your zones, so you right, you can get some really sniper entries where, you know, 1 to 8s become, like, if you watch one of my YouTube shorts on YouTube, my channel, you can see me catching a live 1 to 8 trade, right? Live. Now, I hope you found value from this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want a short curve you're learning as well, link will be in the video description. Join the elite mentorship program, or just come and say hi in the free community, guys. You know, really chilled. Yeah, take care, and I'm out.